So, good evening, everyone. My name is Ankit Mahajan. I'm an Agile coach, and I'm really passionate about sharing whatever I know with other people. I'm passionate about helping people who are looking for jobs as a Scrum Master, as a product owner, and that's where this concept of webinar started. I'm also representing an organization that I and few others have started, which is called Evolve with Agile Coaching. And as part of that organization, we are conducting this webinar where we are going to talk about JIRA, which is one of the top tools used by Agile teams. So hopefully you guys have heard about it. If not, that's why we are here. What else? So a warm welcome to all of you, right? Thanks a lot for joining, taking out time. So what we're going to do over here is, I will be giving you a real demo of JIRA from JIRA Cloud for the first 30 minutes. Then we will have 10-15 minutes Q&A. And then last 10 minutes, I'll be sharing with you about the upcoming JIRA training in case you or anyone you know is interested in attending that. So that's a pattern, that's the agenda we're going to follow. Even after this session, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. More than happy to answer. I do have a WhatsApp group as well, and I can share a link with you for connecting and sharing knowledge. Okay, so let me share my screen. Just waiting for this to disappear. Hopefully it does faster. Can I move it? Okay, never mind. I think I wanted to go to some other tab, but let me start with basics. So JIRA is a tool, right? It's one of the topmost backlog management tools that is used in the industry. Other tools are Rally, version 1, and JIRA is a tool from a company called Atlassian. Let me show you. This is the name of the company, Atlassian. They have many software products. You can go here and check it out. And JIRA software is just one of the tools that they provide. Now, JIRA can be used as a cloud instance, which means Atlassian is responsible for the infrastructure. It's on their servers. You don't have to do anything. Or just like any other software, it can be on-premise, on-prem, which means this is going to be an application which will be installed on the servers of the organization. And organization is going to have a team of JIRA admins who are going to manage this software, the updates, the releases, the security, the patches, the everything. So there are two ways to get this software, like any other software, either JIRA Cloud or JIRA on-premise. There are pros and cons of both of them, but the biggest advantage of getting JIRA Cloud is that you are going to get the latest version always. Just a request, may I request everyone to be on mute so that there is no background noise? Appreciate your understanding. Thank you. So in JIRA, right, the most important thing or the starting point is JIRA Projects. And I'm going to show you as well. I'm showing you. Okay, I just moved it. Great. So I'm just showing you the hierarchy of JIRA. So in JIRA, we have a concept of JIRA Projects, which I will show you in the tool as well. This is not work. And let us not confuse this word with the word project, how we understand that word for our work. For example, I am working on a project. I am working on a program, right? This project is different. This is just a container of work. This is not work. This is a container of work. And within this container of work, you can have the subtask. Then the next level can be stories, tasks, bugs. Then you can have epics, whatever, right? It's level 2 work. This is L1, level 1, level 2, level 3. Now in different organizations, different vocabulary is used, but in majority of the organizations or all the organizations, level 1 is always going to be something like a story, task, bug. And a child of story is going to be a subtask. Now the parent of story, task, and bug can be epic, can be a feature. I'm not going to get into that. That is why I'm using the levels L1, L2, L3. So L3 is an initiative which might take 1 year to get done. right? L2 could be an epic which can take 1 quarter, 2 quarter, ideally a quarter to get done. Stories are something that can be completed in few days within a sprint. So this is how work is organized in JIRA projects, right? JIRA projects, you have work. And within each JIRA project, you have team boards. Those boards can be Scrum or Kanban. If you're a Scrum team, you will have a Scrum board. If you're a Kanban team, you can have a Kanban. These boards are managed by board admins, typically Scrum masters or product owners, product managers, whosoever from the team wants to take that responsibility. But typically this responsibility is taken by Scrum masters. And if there is no Scrum master, then of course somebody from the team would have to step up. And JIRA projects are managed by JIRA project admins. So I'll just take a pause here, not for any question, but just try to absorb it before I go to the tool and I share the demo of the tool with you. Try to absorb this picture so that you know what we're talking about. Okay. So let's go to JIRA now. So as I told you, in JIRA, everything starts with the project. So right now we are in JIRA. This is my cloud account, as you can see, right? This is a cloud account. If I click now on the top navigation of projects, I see all the projects that are within this JIRA instance. Similarly, whenever you log into JIRA in your organization, you would see the same navigation. The only thing is some of the options here might appear different. Why? Because this is JIRA Cloud. And your organization might be using JIRA on-premise. So it could be on version 6, version 7. I don't know, but cloud means this is the latest release. This is the latest software of JIRA from Atlassian. So foundation is same, functionality is same, but look and feel might be different because of that reason. So speaking about JIRA projects that I just showed you, if you see here, I click on projects, click on view all projects, sorry, and you will see all these projects, right? Now, for today's demo, I'm going to use the demo project. You can see this is a JIRA project. This project has a JIRA key, demo, and who's the lead for this project? It's me because I created it, but typically the person is going to be the project admin. Each JIRA project has a JIRA key and a project admin, as you can see from this screen. Okay, so if I go to this demo project, I'm on this demo project, and boards in this demo means boards in this demo project. There is only one board, which is a Scrum board that is being shown to you. So once you are within the project, you can access all the boards, either Scrum or Kanban, within that JIRA project, right? And as far as creation of work is concerned, you see this button called create. So if I click on create, I can create work in this JIRA project. Remember, we started with JIRA project and I said it is nothing but a container for work. So while trying to create work, you can always choose the project where this work needs to be, because project is container of the work. What type of work it is, could be epic, could be story, depending upon the schema that is being used by the project, you will get different options here, which have been configured by your JIRA admins. In this case, these are the only options. If we want more options, it can be configured, but we have to get into why we want more options and what are we trying to accomplish with that. These are the fields. Again, these fields are coming up because of the project that we have chosen. Each project has a unique schema in terms of what fields will appear in that project, what issue types will appear in that project. In JIRA, the word issue means work. And I don't know why Atlassian still uses this vocabulary, but probably they started as a support tool. But in their mind, everything is an issue that needs to be addressed. So rather than saying work type, they're using the word issue type, something that can be confusing for people who are new to JIRA. Issue type is nothing but a kind of work. It can be epic, it can be task, it can be story, whatever. So the point I was trying to make is each JIRA project has a schema for the issue types that we see, for the fields that we see, and for the workflow of that issue type. Let me just quickly create a work item here. Let me create a story. So I'm going to fill these mandatory fields that have a red asterisk sign because system will not allow me to move ahead without creating it. Here your description of a story can come up. As a user, I want something so that the benefit, right? You can have your acceptance criteria also over here, unless there is a field specifically for acceptance criteria. Who is the reporter? The person who's creating it. For teams, it's going to be a product manager, product owner typically. There are other fields such as assignee, priority. You can choose that. You can even update these values later on. Labels. Labels are, if I want to say the story is for MVP, for example. So I can create a new label called MVP. This story is for compliance. It's related to some compliance. I can create a new label. So this is how we can create label to categorize our work. And labels are case sensitive. Epic link. What is the epic for this work? So if there is an existing epic, I can choose that. I'm just making a choice. JIRA showed me the available epics and I chose that. Which sprint it is for? I don't know. By default, if I don't choose any sprint value, it will go to back. So I can click on create. And before I do that, I wanted to show you configure fields. So this way you can choose what fields you want in your view. If you want to customize it, you can choose the fields in your view. For example, you want sprint reporter. If you want all fields, you can choose that, which I have chosen, or you can customize it. Sometimes organizations will have a lot of fields. And customization means you make a choice as a user what fields you want to see. So it makes sense. But for now, I'll go with all fields. If I click on create, I could have attached an attachment as well, just for your awareness. Let's go to backlog. Anything that we create by default goes to backlog. So this is the test story that I just created. And I can verify that by looking at certain fields such as created. So if you see here, it says created 25 seconds ago. So this is the same story. My board has a lot of test stories, but this is a story that I just created, right? And if I want to update it further, I can do that. I can come here, make changes to it. I can change priority. All that can be done even later on. You can add labels, as I was telling you. You can have story points, right? Now let's see how it looks when it has been created. Activity, there is history. What happened so far? So whatever is going to happen on this ticket, on this work item, that will be captured in the history. Comments, we can have a conversation. I can tag somebody. Right now, I'm the only user, so I'll tag myself. Hey, I created a story. So you can have some conversation around the story, document it. Work log, that is another option. You can log your time. Epic link, story points, we spoke about it. Sprint, we spoke about that. Fixed version means when the story is expected to get deployed to production. When are we planning to release it to a customer? So that can be done if there are fixed version values. Let's see, is there any fixed version value here? There is no fixed version value. So you can create a new one. Let's say this is going to production on October of 2022. That's a release. So I can make that choice. It's 8th October, 8th and 9th October. In case our release is taking place over a weekend, so I can do that as a fixed version. Trying to find the workflow option. So if you go here, the status of this story right now is to do, right? Assignee is, you can assign it to someone or somebody can assign it to themselves. For example, I'll assign this to myself. If I click on more fields, they come up here. Now let's talk about the status of the story or any work item. So these are the different options that are being given to us because of the workflow schema. Remember my words? I said each JIRA project has a schema for the issue types or the work types that we see in that project, schema for the status that we see, the workflow that we see here. If I click on view workflow, it tells me, let me zoom in. Oh, sorry. I think size is a little small. I wish I could zoom in, but let's see if I can try that. Okay, it's working now. Yeah, so if you see here, there are different statuses such as ready, in progress, ready for testing, done, implemented, cancelled, abandoned, which means for any work that is created in this project, all these statuses are available to us. And this arrow from all means you can shift your work from the current status to that status. If I want to move from ready to implemented, I can do that theoretically. If I want to move from in progress to implemented, I can do that. Why? Because there is a connection. I can transition from state 1 to this state anytime because of this connection. And this has been configured by a JIRA admin. In this case, that's me. For example, if we want to, the story was created, by default, the status was to do. Let's say we did refinement of the story. We have added all the details. It meets our definition of ready. We can change the status of the story to ready so that the team knows that this is one of the candidates for their upcoming sprint. Let me add story points, just the dummy story points. So I've added 5 story points. Now this is ready. And once the team picks it up in the sprint planning, they can change the status to in progress, eventually to ready for testing, done, implemented, and so on and so forth. So this is how story travels from the status to do, to done or implemented. If the story is getting blocked due to any reason, you can always block it as well, right? So blocked is the status, and each status has a meaning behind it. And I know they are subject to interpretation, but hopefully you can conclude what their true meaning is based on the name of the status. So that's about creation of work. Let me quickly check what other topic I wanted to cover. So I think we have covered so far what is JIRA, JIRA in cloud versus on-premise, JIRA projects, we spoke about that, boards. And again, we are covering these topics at a very, very high level because that's what we can do in this limited time in this webinar. So we spoke about JIRA boards. There are Scrum boards and Kanban boards, right? I just showed you a Scrum board. And let me go back there once again. So if you go to this board, right, you see this button called Active Sprint on the left navigation. That means it's a Scrum board. If the active sprint was not there and the only option was Kanban, that means it is a Kanban. So that's how we can differentiate between the two boards. If I go to backlog view here, you can see there is backlog and there are sprints. You can see there is an option to create a sprint. Why? Because it's a Scrum board. If it is a Kanban board, you will not see this option for creating a sprint, and you will not see active sprints also as an option. Creation of work, we covered that, right? Users of JIRA, Agile teams rules. So let's talk about that. Let me go here. So users of JIRA are Agile teams, as I mentioned. And in Agile teams, you have a role of a developer. You may have testers, you may have Scrum Master, product owner, product manager. So all the people are using JIRA. Some people are using JIRA for creation of work. For example, product manager uses JIRA to create work, product owner uses JIRA to create work. It's just that someone might be creating a story, someone might be creating an epic. Scrum Master uses JIRA to create transparency, to improve collaboration, to facilitate sprint planning, to facilitate sprint demo, right? All those things. And developers or other team members use JIRA so that they can see what is that they want to work on next. What is the next priority item? Where can I pitch in? How can we all come together as a team so that we can meet our sprint goals based on our sprint plan? So there are different users of JIRA, and in certain organization, project managers are also getting this data to understand where are we, how are we doing with a roadmap, how long it may take, how can we predict how long it may take to complete this epic. So JIRA is going to give you all that data as long as the status of your work items is correct. And if you see here in the backlog view, right, this is just a dummy sprint. It started on 24th of June, 20th of June, and still active. So like this, we can create sprints. And if I go to active sprint view, let me adjust the size. Right, so in the active sprint view, you see all these columns and you see the work. And this is what a Scrum team would look at, or a Kanban team would look at every day when they come to work, so that everybody in the team knows, and people who are even outside the team know what is happening, what is this team working on. Without even having a conversation, if you are managing your board well, if you are updating the status of your work to show reality, anyone can easily know how many items are ready, how many are in progress, how many are in review, and how many are done. So for example, if this is in progress, I will move it to in progress. So every day, all the team members, they come together and look at this board during their daily stand-up, right, to make sure and to share what was done yesterday. What is our plan for today? Do we have any blockers? And same thing for Kanban. They might not meet every day, but this board is showing that, and they can definitely sync up every day, once 2 weeks. It is up to them. But the basic principle remains same. Everyone in the team and people outside the team are aware of the fact what this team is working on, what are their blockers, what have they accomplished. So that is the beauty of JIRA, how it is helping us in implementing agile values such as transparency, collaboration, reducing waste, because we don't want to focus on three things together. Can we just focus on the most important, the prioritized work item? Because if we focus on three things, we might not be able to get anything done. And remember, agile way of working is all about creating something valuable, creating something meaningful. And that can only happen when we implement the Scrum values of focus, courage, right? So, and to have focus, we need to know what is the next work item that is higher in priority. And that is where a product manager comes into picture, product owner comes into picture, because they are representing our customers and they are sharing the priority order of the work based on a certain rationale. And if team disagrees, they have full authority to question the product owner, to question the product manager, and understand what that priority is for the sprint. What is that roadmap for our upcoming sprints? And you can have that roadmap also in JIRA. It's an advanced topic, and I'll not be getting into it, but there are so many things you can do in JIRA. So I'll take a pause here because it's been a few minutes I've been speaking up, and let's see what questions you guys have. Any questions so far?
Hey, Ankit, this is Rohan. Had a question on the status of the story. So there were two statuses that I saw. One was done and one was implemented. What's the difference? I mean, I can get the status done, but why would one use the status implemented? What would be the difference between the two?
Yeah, good question, Rohan. And that's where I said the meaning and the intent of that status is important. And whenever we have any statuses in JIRA, let me open that so that I can show the status as well. Just a refresher for everyone what Rohan is talking about. So just a background, these statuses are here because our project is using a certain schema. I think I may open the wrong thing. Let me open a story, demo one. Okay, this should be correct. Yeah. So Rohan's question is, what is the difference between done and implemented? And before I answer that, background and repetition of what I had said earlier, whatever statuses we see here, they are configurable. They are appearing here because they are part of a project schema. Now, when I added it, because I am the JIRA admin in this case, my intention was to differentiate between the work which is done as per team's definition of done, but yet to be deployed to production. So I am projecting done as that this team is done with their work, but it is yet to be deployed to production. Implemented means we have deployed our work to production as well. Not every team is that mature where they're deploying their work to production every sprint, every day. Many organizations, many teams have a release schedule where they can only do a production deployment once a month, or probably 2 or 3 times in a month. So to differentiate between the done work that is yet to be deployed to production and the work that has been deployed to production, these two statuses are there. Does it answer your question, Rohan?
Yes, thanks, Ankit. Makes sense. So it's depending on different factors, like let's say the release calendar or the release schedule, and how each team would want to handle them, right? So for some
Yeah.
teams, if they are mature enough to do, let's say, deployments every sprint, they might not need these two separately. So they can always configure them. Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say each team can configure it. Again, it is tied to a JIRA project. So if a team feels they need different statuses, and that is okay with, of course, that is okay with them because they are making a request, and that is okay with other teams, then probably they can have their own statuses configured with the help of JIRA admins. But there is an advantage of having a global status, right? Because then we are speaking the same vocabulary. We are in the same JIRA ecosystem. There is a pro, there is a con. And I understand that we are taking away that freedom from team. Team may want something, but we cannot make everyone happy. So we have to come up with a solution or the statuses that address all the possible use cases for majority of our organization. So that when I'm looking at your work, you're looking at my work, we have dependencies, we might need each other's help. We are interpreting it the same way. So that's a benefit of having universal statuses. And it's okay if you are deploying to production each sprint, fair enough. Move your work directly from in progress to implemented. You don't have to even go to done. Or if today you are done and deployment is tomorrow, today you can mark your work as done, and tomorrow you can change it to deployed to prod, which is implemented. And we can rename the status to convey better what the intended meaning of the status is.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah. Thanks. That answers my question. Thank you.
Sure. Any other question from anyone? No question? Have you guys used JIRA, or why don't you share your feedback? Or this is the first time you're looking at JIRA?
So Ankit, I saw some tutorial on JIRA online, but
Okay.
my question is like all these boards, when you talk about JIRA board, Scrum board, Kanban board, they are tools, but they are all separate. Like one time I thought you said that you can see the Scrum board within
Mhm.
JIRA. Is it there? Like, can we, or these are totally different and everybody uses on their own, whatever,
Mhm. I'm not sure if I understood your question. I think I understood it partially, but let me try answering it. What I had mentioned in the beginning of the session. Hold on. Let me just go to that mural so that you understand visually. This is a structure in JIRA, right? You have a JIRA project, and within the JIRA project, there is work, and that work is managed across boards. So an organization typically will have multiple JIRA projects. For example, let's do a visual here so that you understand. So let's say there is a company, let's just say Discover, just saying, right? They have different business lines, such as credit card, and I'll take 2 or 3. banking, loans. These are their different business lines, and these business lines are working on different projects. They have different teams. So it is all about a strategy around JIRA project. So one strategy could be that each business line has its own JIRA project. Let's call it project A, project B. So it's a certain organization or a hierarchy of work in a JIRA project. Remember, project is nothing but a container. Now, because it's a business line, they're going to have so many teams. It's a big business line. They can have Scrum team, they can have Kanban teams, and those teams have boards. So team boards can be Scrum or Kanban. Let's say there are 6 Scrum teams and 4 Kanban teams in this business line. So you can have 4 Scrum boards and 5 Kanban boards. All those boards are within this JIRA project. And these teams, the board that I showed you, it is not a board of an individual, even though an individual can create a board. But the important use case here is this board is of a team, Scrum team or a Kanban team, 7 to 9 team members, 10 team members who are working together to develop something new. Does that answer your question, Smita? Or let me know, what do you think?
Yes, yes.
Right. So this is just a way of arranging your work. So what happens is, let's say in a bigger organization, it's not like you can work in silo. There are always going to be dependencies between this business line, this business line. We might need something from them. They might need something from us. It's not that simple. If it is a startup, maybe things are simpler. And if it is a startup of, let's say, 50 people, 30 people, you don't need that many JIRA projects. Maybe you just create one JIRA project. But the only reason why you would create multiple JIRA projects here is so that each business line can manage their JIRA projects in a certain way. Also, each JIRA project has a key. So if the key here is CC, if the key here is BB, and key here is LL, these are just hypothetical keys. Any work that starts with LL, the moment I look at it, I can easily conclude it is from the loans business line. If work starts with BB, I can easily conclude it is from banking business line. If you see our JIRA project or the list of projects that I had shown, there is that view, right? All these JIRA projects, they have a name and they have a key. So typically the JIRA project name is going to be meaningful and the key is going to be an acronym of that name. But just for demo purpose, I made it simpler. I said demo and demo. If any work got created, including demo 1, it tells you right away that this is part of a demo software project. And if it is, this project is representing a certain business line or a certain group within the organization, you can easily conclude which area it is. In your mind, it is absolutely clear. This work belongs to them. And now let's have a dialogue. As needed, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to do their work. It all means it's just transparency. By looking at the work, you can easily conclude which JIRA project it is, which area of the organization it is. And if that work is meant for your team, it should be in the JIRA project, which is being used by your team. If it is incorrectly created here, you can move your work. I'm looking for the option. Yeah, probably it's different here. So you can move your work, all these options here, right? If you click on move, you can always move work from one JIRA project to any other JIRA project as well, if needed. And that happens sometimes because initially we thought we are going to work on this epic. And then we started doing some research. Then we figured out, you know what? We are not the right people. Let us move this epic to someone else. Or we are working on this epic, but we need help from you. So can you guys please create your stories in your project and tie it to the epic in our project? Okay. I got it. Thank you. Sure. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, I got the basic idea. I think where I was
That
confused.
basic,
like
yeah,
it's a-
that is my intent from this webinar. That basic idea should be clear.
yes, I
Just
think that's where I
clear.
was confused.
Yeah, and if you want to take a screenshot, feel free. Don't hesitate.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, great. Awesome. Awesome. What other question anyone on the call has? Or any comments, any thoughts about JIRA? Okay, seems there are no questions. Either the group is very shy or I've done a great job. So I'll just wait one more minute in case there is any question before we proceed to wrap up of this session.
Ankit,
have a
check the
question.
chat. Yeah, somebody's sending a question, I think, in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Thank you for the question. Let me read it. It's from, you want to read your question? I'm not sure who submitted it. I can't really see your name clearly. Yeah, go ahead. If you have a question, go ahead. TY, go ahead. Ty.
So how do you use the JIRA board to how do you use the JIRA board to track the burn down chat?
Okay, that's a good question. So in JIRA, you have this report section on the left side. If you go to reports, there are so many reports available to you. If you want to look at burn down chart, I'll click there. Sorry, excuse me. You have burn down chart, burn up chart, sprint report. All these reports are within JIRA. If I click on burn down chart, and again, I'm looking at this report for a particular board, which is part of a particular project. In this case, the board is demo and the project is demo. So you can look at the burn down chart. Because I have not really started a sprint, it is flat, but this is how you can look at your burn down chart.
Okay, so once you start the sprint and the taxes are going from in progress to done, the graph automatically moves towards the end, right?
Could you repeat your last line? I didn't hear it clearly.
I said, so once the sprint is in progress and work is going from in progress to done, that's when the graph moves, right? It automatically moves.
Good question. So yes, burn down chart, the graph will come down only, first of all, burn down chart is for sprint teams, sorry, Scrum teams that are planning and executing their work in sprints. It is not for Kanban teams. So this option of burn down chart will only be available to you for Scrum boards, where you see this button called active sprint. Just 1 minute. This is for others because you asked a great question. So this background is going to helpful. Now, as we are moving our work to done, how does JIRA know that work is done or this work is going to be carried forward? JIRA is not just going by the statuses that are there. It is not going by the status of done or implemented. Anything that is not in the last column of the board is treated as carry forward work or not done. So if your work moves to the last column, if you can see here, if I try to move my work to the last column, there are two statuses there right now, done and implemented. So if my work moves to any of those statuses, which means if my work moves to the last column, that is how JIRA knows this work is done and I am not going to carry it forward to the next sprint, and that is where the burn down chart will come down. It will only come down for the work which is in the last column. And the last column here is mapped to two statuses. So that is the answer. When the work moves to the last column, burn down chart will come down. And whatever statuses are in the last column, if you move the work to those statuses, work will come, burn down chart will come down. Sorry.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sure. Great question. Any other question from anyone? And let me check chat. I think there's a question, how do we use JIRA and Confluence together, like sharing a document on Confluence? So for those of you who may not be aware of Confluence, just trying to bring Atlassian's website so that you can check that out. Okay, do I have Atlassian? Yeah. So Atlassian has many products, as I was saying. It's an Australia-based company. And one of the products is Confluence, where you can create wikis, just like we have Wikipedia for the world, where anybody can create, not anybody, but we can contribute to that Wikipedia, suggest edits. Similarly, you can think of Confluence as a Wikipedia for your organization, where people can create documentation and people can search for it. There is no security as such. You can have security, but the whole idea is here is a library of so many pages and people can search for it. If I'm new to the organization, nobody can really tell me anything on day one. It's going to be a journey, but in that journey, this knowledge, this library of pages is available to me, which is Confluence. Document collaboration, that's the main purpose, right? Now, JIRA and Confluence or JIRA or any of its tool, they can definitely integrate, which is a vast topic. I am not going to get into that. We do not have that much time. But to answer your question, yes, JIRA and Confluence can integrate. And what it means is, whatever we are doing in JIRA might get shown on Confluence in one or the other way. So for that, I think we'll have to do a Confluence webinar sometime in the near future. But for now, JIRA and Confluence are the products of the same company, and they can integrate. One is for project and issue tracking, work management, managing your backlog, managing your priorities, managing your roadmap, and the other is for document collaboration. So one use case that I can think of and share with you, just to connect the dots, your burn down chart in JIRA can appear in Confluence. Your sprint report in JIRA can appear in Confluence. So those are some of the use cases. Okay, we have 2 more minutes for any other question that anyone may have. Any last question? Okay, I take that as no. So last thing I wanted to share with you guys is before we end this webinar, that we do have an upcoming training, just for your awareness. Where is that? Not sure if it's loading. But anyways, we do have a JIRA training coming up. Let me hold on, just give me 1 minute. I think I need to find it. But in the meantime, if you have any question, do ask or share in the chat. Let's not waste time. Anyone, if you have used JIRA, how has been your experience? Feel free to share that. Or what are your thoughts about JIRA if you learned about it today for the first time? What are some of the thoughts coming to your mind? No thoughts at all?
Yeah, no, I think I have watched before also tutorial today. Now you also showed. So I think I got how it works. Like it is a where you document and where you put all the things like to do and the implemented or done, those kind of things. I mean, I got it. But the thing is, I think until I get the hands-on experience, I don't think it is going to get into my brain.
Yeah, totally get it. But you know what I can suggest you is, of course, I'm going to talk about the training, but in addition to that, whatever you have learned, any webinar you attend, any training you attend, one suggestion I have for all of you is make your notes. Like, what have you learned today? What have you understood today? So that when you have to revise that knowledge and connect the dots, it is easier for
I did that. I've been writing.
you. Awesome. Yeah. Just because it's your notes, right? So you will understand it the best way
Exactly.
possible.
Yep.
And I'm still struggling to find the right link. This is what happens when you have so many links going on. Okay, it's over here. Wow. 2 screens. Benefit, pro and con. So yeah, just for everyone's awareness, this is our page on Eventbrite. If you're not following, I'll request you to follow it, share it with everyone. If you follow it, you know about all our upcoming events. As I had mentioned, I'm representing Evolve with Agile Coaching, and we do offer trainings, certifications for Scrum Masters, for product owners, career coaching. Today's webinar was about JIRA. So let's talk about our upcoming JIRA training. And I will share the link. So this is a JIRA training with certification, JIRA training and certification for beginners, people who are new to JIRA. It's going to be on September 22nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And all the details are given here, what we will be covering. And it's not just going to be a demo, it's going to be hands-on training where I will be giving access, where I'll be giving you guys access to my JIRA instance. You're going to play around, you're going to create boards, you're going to create work. And the best way to learn something is by doing it. So that is my intention behind launching this training. It's going to be a 2-hour session followed by 1 hour Q&A, or maybe 2-hour Q&A after a week or 2 weeks from the training date, where you can come and ask questions after trying something in JIRA, right? And the bonus here is, if you do this training, I can give you assurance that you are going to pass this certification, which is JIRA Fundamentals Assessment from Atlassian. This certification is free of cost. Full disclaimer, there is no cost for it. But to pass the certification, you need knowledge, and knowledge can come with practice. And for practice, I highly recommend this training. So I'm just going to share this link in the chat. And if you have any questions about this training, let me know right now, or you can even reach out later on as well. This is the link to the training. I just shared it in the chat. And then I'm sharing another link that has all the useful links for Evolve with Agile Coaching. So do check it out and share it with your friends, colleagues who might benefit, right? Or with this JIRA training that's upcoming. All the details are mentioned here, but I'm happy to answer any question in the next 5 minutes or later on. And if you guys attend it, you're also going to get a 10% discount code for which you can reach out to me in case you decide to attend the JIRA training. And last thing, we do also have other trainings coming up, which is Scrum Master Certification, Scale Agile, Product Owner, Product Manager. So a lot of trainings are coming up. Check it out and let me know anything that interests you or anything that is of interest to your friends, colleagues. And you can join our WhatsApp group, as I had mentioned. So we can stay connected. And you can find all details about the WhatsApp group in this link tree. If you click on the second link, you will see our LinkedIn page. You will see our Eventbrite page. You will see everything. With that, thanks a lot for joining. Really appreciate you guys taking out 1 hour from your busy schedules. And I understand it is not easy. It's not easy for me. And I'm sure it is not easy for you as well. But I think I appreciate this, how should I say, this desire to learn and grow. And I wish you guys all the best in your careers, whether you're trying to be a Scrum Master, whether you're trying to be a product owner, or whatever role you're trying to play and rise in your careers, right? Happy to help in any way possible. And I'm here for 5 more minutes. In case there is any question, feel free to ask about any topic.
Ankit, did you send this link to WhatsApp group also? The one you just shared here?
You mean to say the training link?
Yeah, the training links.
I haven't, I think I might have, but I can double check, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Ankit, for all your time.
Sure, no, thank you, Smita, for your questions. And I think Smita is looking for a new job. So we wish her all the best, and anyone else also, right?
Yep.
Uh,
Thank you.
guys, I just wish you. So anyway, I can help. Let me. So TT, you have a question? What question do you have? I think you said you want to know more about safe training. Okay, I think there are people who want to talk in chat.
Yes, I want to know more about the safe training.
Yeah, so what is your specific question? Safe training is from Scaled Agile. There are different courses. I can share the link with you. Either there is Safe Scrum Master, and I'm going to do a webinar on this topic as well. Maybe you can join that before even deciding what training is good for you. But let me share a link in the chat that can help you as well.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? If you click on that second link that I had shared in the chat, that should help you, which is a Linktree link, and it has many other links. I can share my screen and show you.
Okay, I see that. So
yeah, there is a last
step
link in that
take
link.
me to your website.
Scaled Agile, which course is right for you. So if you click on that,
Yeah.
you can see all the courses. But the courses that I typically offer are Safe Scrum Master, Safe Product Owner, Safe Advanced Scrum Master, Safe Product Owner, Product Manager, Safe Release Train Engineer, which are different roles within Scaled Agile. So those are the ones I offer. But yeah, if there is any other question, let me know. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, all right.
For everyone's awareness, this is the screen I was talking about. The second link, if you click here, you will see our upcoming events. You can subscribe to our emails, you can join our WhatsApp group, you can schedule a free consultation appointment. LinkedIn, you can follow us. You can fill this form to share with me what more you would like me to do. But as I said, we do have upcoming webinars. So you can check those out, register for them, share it with your friends, share it in the WhatsApp group. And if there is a particular topic you want me to cover, let me. This is my entire September's calendar, and I will be publishing October calendar soon as well.
Can you please share your LinkedIn link on the chat so we can go to your LinkedIn page?
Yeah, I had already shared it. I can share it once again. I think I had shared it, right? Smita, can you confirm that my links came over?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did actually. I
Yeah.
did click on that.
Yeah, and I think I will be sending you an email as well. So if you check emails, I'm sharing the two links once again. Before we end this meeting, I'll request you to click on them, save them so that you don't lose it. But you have my contact details and you can reach out to me at evolvewithagilecoaching@gmail.com or reach out to me from Eventbrite. Plus you can join WhatsApp group. So there are so many ways. And thank you, Annie, for your message. It's a pleasure. Mike, thank you for your direct message. I will make a note. You're interested in JIRA training, so let's connect. But definitely. Okay, guys, one more minute here. Any last comments before you guys go? Other than thank you to all of you for coming, and thank you. Hopefully you found some value add in this webinar, and I'll continue to come up with more webinars. We are hosting webinars each week. We need at least 6 to 10 people to register so that webinar can be productive for me and even for them. So help me by sharing about the free webinar at least, or coming yourself. So with that, I'll take your leave. Thank you, and have a good night. Take care. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Bye.